the most influential figure in the history of humanity. Yeshua of Nazareth is indisputably not only the most famous Jew, rabbi, and spiritual leader of all time, but the most influential human being in the history of humanity. But when he taught, most of those who heard him didn't know how to listen properly, didn't recognize who he was, didn't believe his teachings. And now, I ask you, have you reflected on how statistically improbable it is that Yeshua of Nazareth changed the course of history? The level of influence he has on our world is astonishing. It's hard to accept that his presence in history and his effect on it are simply the result of chance. Have you considered that Yeshua was born approximately 2,000 years ago in an insignificant city in an exotic province of the Roman Empire and was raised in the extremely small town of Nazareth? As an adult, he never ventured far from the borders of the province of Judea, the land of his birth. In fact, he also lacked the resources used today to generate social impact and global influence. He lacked social media. He didn't post videos on YouTube. He didn't have a website. He also didn't have the means used in the first century to influence others. He didn't receive a privileged education. He held no political office. He governed no nation. He led no army. He did not even write a book. Yet, through him, the sacred literature of Israel, the Hebrew Bible, has become the spiritual heritage of humanity. The writings of his early disciples do not mention that he married, that he had children, or that he owned a home. He had little more than the clothes on his back. Statistically, it is unlikely that someone like him would be the most influential figure in human history. In his adult life, his own brother showed suspicion of his public exposure, which lasted only 3 short years. Public opinion turned against him. Many of his followers abandoned him. One close disciple betrayed him, and another denied him. Rabbi Yeshua of Nazareth was rejected by religious leaders, persecuted by the powerful, ridiculed, and treated unjustly by his adversaries. He suffered a baseless trial, was publicly humiliated, brutally beaten, and executed in the most atrocious manner. Despite this, his few remaining followers needed a borrowed tomb to bury the young rabbi in his 30s. Yet this is the man who transformed history, marked the beginning of the Common Era, and forever changed the most significant and reverent aspects of human culture. The influence of this Jew on the world should, at the very least, lead us to reflect on his figure. The writings that describe his life, work, and teaching are the best known and best documented writings of the ancient world. A recent study of global internet search results conducted by Stony Brook University placed him in first place, clearly demonstrating his prominence in the modern world. It could be argued that thanks to him, art, architecture, literature, medicine, politics, economics, society, religion, science, and therefore history changed. How did this happen? How is it possible that a man like him, in his context, could have such an impact on humanity if he hadn't been supported? But supported by whom? Who supported him to such a success of great significance? Let us know in the comments, what do you think? Who supported Yeshua of Nazareth so that his figure would transcend in the history of humanity and become the most sublime being that humanity has produced?